I am Kathy Moda. I am currently the Center Director for the Keene Serenity Center.
I am Robin Pulley. I am an AmeriCorps member currently serving with the Keene Serenity Center in Keene, New Hampshire. And the reason for my nomination of the center is due to the fact that they were able to allow me to volunteer at a time when COVID had just hit and shut the doors.
We are located in Keene, New Hampshire, Cheshire County. So our mantra, what we believe, is that we currently serve all members of the substance use community, and we embrace all pathways of recovery. So no matter what pathway a person is on and comes into the center, whether it's a harm reduction model, 12-step based, smart recovery, we meet them where they're at and just really help them move through whatever process they're in within their recovery. We'd be lost without our volunteer program. The staff can sometimes just get so busy, facilitating groups or trying to get out there and meet with our members. People are in and out all the time. The volunteers are really the heart of the organization. Without them, we wouldn't be able to have as much peer-to-peer interactions as we do and did. One of the things that I love about the Serenity Center is the volunteers' ability to kind of move up the tiers, I guess you could say. So a couple of our staff, one has actually moved on, but another one, they started off as volunteers. And even before that, they started off as members in the community that were being coached by someone at the center. And then they kind of moved through their recovery into being a volunteer. And then through working through all that, they eventually were offered a position. So it's an example of kind of what can kind of happen at the center in terms of where people are at and what the volunteers can kind of accomplish.
I was extremely nervous. I had to do everything with Kathy via Zoom at the start of my service. And I was very nervous about where that was going and how that would look. Would I be able to do it correctly? Would I get everything done? Would I meet my contracting hours? Just a vast area of like what ifs and not knowing at the start. And so the center and Kathy made it very easy for me to adjust accordingly, stayed in constant communication and just made sure I was where I needed to be and was able to guide me and motivate me when I was falling a little behind and lagged. To be honest, I've had nothing but amazing experience with the Serenity Center in itself, and having my service be there. Any obstacle or barrier that I've come across in my time serving, they have found that way to embrace that pathway and meet me where I was at and still allow me the opportunity to do the job that I needed to do, but to be able to do it from where I was at.
They have the ability to connect with individuals in the community. Some of them are friends with other people. Some of them just have the time and the ability to really sit down and have those deep conversations with people and check in on where they're at, and dedicate their time to kind of just support people. And that's all that people in substance use community are needing, is they're needing that support and that guidance, and then setting up kind of what recovery looks like. So for our volunteers that are, moving through the Serenity Center program, and potentially moving on to being staffed, it kind of sets a foundation. Like, hey, this is my recovery. This is what it looks like. Let's sit down and talk about what your recovery can look like and how you can move forward.
There has been so much staff changes, like prior to COVID, and then amidst COVID, there's been so much, but that we're still there. Even with all the changes and everything, we're still there and we're still able to help.